Hello everyone and welcome back to my The Young and Restless 24 YouTube channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Sharon and Phyllis' multiple improvements indicate that a threshold has been crossed. Could it be that these longtime rivals will keep the hatchet buried after they escape Alan Lawrence horror show? His Wizard of Oz event appears to be nearing its end. The followership feels the top because Alan was seen looking at a live smartphone videotape of his mortal lab trials just after he asked Tracy Abbott to marry him, and she accepted. Before addressing the rearmost heartache Maitland's character is set to endure, an adulatory analysis of a veritably unusual plot has to be offered. Back-to-back hijackings are unrealistic and particularly strange. One wonders what the intended plot link was between Sharon being abducted by Jordan Howard and also being kidnapped by Alan so soon later. Suckers have long accepted rapes. Generally, some deranged character seeks vengeance or has a planned docket. It made sense that Jordan didn't want to follow Ian Ward's plan to kill Sharon. Zank's now departed character gained influence when shifting strategies during the period that she turned against Ian. But to see Sharon taken and turned again right after she escaped Jordan felt ridiculous. Still, the piece she and Phyllis have realized opens numerous interesting possibilities and could make this inconceivable tale worthwhile for those characters. Alan is a well-known psychiatrist who's semi-retired. He was introduced to the followership through Tracy's family, Ashley Abbott, and originally appeared to be an implicit love interest for her. The twist of Alan having a crazed identical twin, Martin Laurent fitted into his world in Paris, France, could have been a one-off. But the followership was shown the cataclysmal scene where the sisters fought each other and fell out of an alternate story window. The Laurent halves were dressed in the same apparel. So, it was possible to tell who failed because a camera shot was on them from the window to the ground. Cleaner suckers are smart and banked that climax, knowing Martin may have survived. The slow figure until this late downtime's plot could conclusively prove that Alan failed last time and that Martin assumed his family's life ever ago. That reeks of Marco Annicelli doing the same to Jack along with other identity switchers like Patty. So, the followership might be in on the ruse this time around if suckers are told that Martin is playing Alan. In that case, Martin could avoid being linked as Sharon's and Phyllis's abductor and do with his marriage plans. Sorely, Tracy is being set up for a significant emotional catastrophe. And why exactly does this have to be to one of Genoa City, Wisconsin's sweetest souls? Tracy lost her son, Colleen, times agone. She's also suffered other distemperatures. There's no reason for Alan or Martin to have specifically chosen her to come involved with, yet it's apt and she'll ultimately realize cerebral victim status. Martin to have another twist. Meanwhile, can Sharon and Phyllis escape? Sharon and Phyllis to try to find exactly where the secret camera is located. The internees need to find that camera and turn it off. Not only will it keep Martin ignorant of their plans, but it could force him to expose himself. At some point, Martin will come to figure out what's wrong with the feed, and also perhaps the hijacking victims can escape. Martin made it veritably clear that Phyllis and Sharon are just lab rats and in trial. It'll be curious to find out exactly who this trial is for. Surely not Tracy? Or perhaps indeed Martin wants total control over Ashley. In any case, when Martin learns what his lab rats have been over to, there will be consequences. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that if Alan goes to Havenhurst to see what's wrong, he could run smack into Billy and Nick. It would surely be a fight to the death. Martin has easily been impersonating Alan all this time and deceiving Tracy. So, I've to wonder what's the real reason for Martin seeing Tracy? Why go to all the trouble as well as asking her to marry him? Tracy might wonder how she couldn't tell all this time that Alan was really Martin. Over with Claire Grace, we could see her continue floundering with Kyle and Summer. Indeed, though Kyle tries setting boundaries, Summer just keeps snooping and crashing Claire's dates with ridiculous extremities. While Claire has been patient and understanding, she's starting to get fed up. While I don't see Claire jilting Kyle, I could see her relish attention from someone differently. Sucker saw a bit of that with Claire and Holden formerly. So, we will have to see how this story ends. Diane Jenkins wants to patch the Abbott mansion, a change that could rock the family to their non-fictional foundation. Is there an addict of the show who is more concerned about Diane's plans to catch the Abbott Mance than the issues for Phyllis and Sharon? After all, we're enough sure they'll come out just okay. On the face, addition seems like a brilliant idea. So why should a fat family like the Abbotts live in a home that appears to have been nominated by Crystal Carrington? The innards of that slip-up structure is so dark and teary that we're amazed the only spirit to ever make an appearance is that of primogenitor John. Still, on the other side of the coin, we're left with lasting prints, maybe for a continuance, due to Billy's 2016 revamp of the Chancellor Mance. The outgrowth was similar a drastic downgrade that it burned a strong counter-reaction from suckers, egging Jill to step by and reverse her son's changes. Maybe our enterprises are unsupported. It's possible the show has taken note of once miscalculations. After all, Victor successfully repaired the Newman estate to act its original design. Perhaps Diane will make many aesthetic tweaks that we will actually appreciate, and will work for the Mance. To be honest, we're puzzled by the direction Young and Restless is taking with this plot, especially given the multitudinous significant issues it has yet to attack. The fact that the stylish the generators can concoct for Jack is yet another replication of his contest with Victor is concerning in itself. Competitive emendations? That sounds more like a program that should be on HGTV also. It's disappointing to see the plushly developed character of Diane relegated to simply playing the part of an interior decorator. The reunion of Skyle seems to warrant any logical foundation, and Tracy finds herself in an unconcerned relationship that feels superficial and lacking in substance. What are your studies? Are you alive about the addition of the Abbott Mance, or are you open to the idea of change? Do you worry it'll come out like Billy's attempt? Martin is the one holding Sharon and Phyllis interned. It appears that Alan Minatory Twin is orchestrating this nipping trial. Let's cave into the myriad suggestions that have surfaced. A significant indication suggesting that Alan could actually be Martin. When Alan returned home with Tracy, he peered at the Abbott Mance as if he were seeing it for the veritably first time. Although he latterly claimed that he simply hadn't appreciated the house ahead, it raised some eyebrows. Numerous observers suspected that Alan might indeed be Martin, but the plot didn't claw deeper into this proposition, until now. Still, it seems he has been masquerading as Alan each on, if Martin is indeed the twin who survived the deck incident. The show has only lately embraced the twist with the preface of the peculiar prisoner of Sharon and Phyllis. Now, Y&R is eventually advancing the Martin plot, gearing up for a significant disclosure. Subtle suggestions have surfaced indicating that their prisoner could be a former internal case, particularly given the creepy setting of an abandoned psychiatric installation where they're held. Indeed, Billy suggested that there might be another madcap at play, away from Ian, and Martin clearly fits that description. Also, it's clear that Martin prides himself on having superior styles compared to Alan when it comes to handling cases. Martin wielded inordinate pressure on Ashley with his hypnotism ways, driven by a need to assert his dominance over his family. The prisoner of Sharon and Phyllis revealed that the entire fire should be viewed as in trial. This existent is treating Phyllis and Sharon like subjects in a lab, inferring pleasure from proving his propositions correct. We recall that Alan had preliminarily mentioned conducting a cerebral study and sought an interview with Sharon for his book. Still, his obsession on Sharon may have boosted during her hypnotism sessions linked to the Ian. If this was indeed Martin must have delved Phyllis and Sharon's histories. Maybe Martin has induced himself that he can mend the rift between Sharon and Phyllis by taking drastic measures. It's likely he excavated into their history for this bid, which Sharon suspects is simply a ploy to showcase their kidnapper's cunning. Now, Alan is poised to make further appearances alongside Tracy, and it's important to note that he appears kindly deranged. The show seems to be steering Alan toward a more erratic depiction, evocative of Martin, suggesting that Christopher Cousins is playing Alan as if he were Martin ahead of a shocking twist. Unfortunately, Tracy's life may soon unravel when the verity about Alan comes to light. She may transition from believing she's about to marry Alan to discovering he's his sociopathic twin.